Hey, before we dive into today's topic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more insightful videos on global living, culture, and more. Living as a Black expatriate or retiree in certain countries can be difficult due to racism, colorism, and discrimination. Some countries present more challenges than others. Here are 14 countries where Black individuals may face significant struggles when it comes to settling in, feeling accepted, and dealing with cultural and social barriers. 1. India. India struggles with colorism, where lighter skin is often favored over darker skin. African expatriates and residents face discrimination in everyday life. For example, a 2016 incident in Delhi and a 2023 incident with a Nigerian student showed how deep-rooted these issues are. A survey found that 6% of Black expatriates in India face discrimination, and darker-skinned Indians also face prejudice, especially in rural areas with less diversity. 2. China. China's population is mostly Han Chinese, so there's little exposure to other races. Black residents, especially in cities like Guangzhou, experience discrimination, such as being denied service in restaurants or shops. The situation worsened during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Black people were unfairly blamed for spreading the virus. Online platforms often show negative attitudes toward Black people, including harassment of Black women in interracial relationships. Around 50% of African expatriates in China report discrimination. 3. Lebanon. In Lebanon, African domestic workers face poor working conditions under the kafala system, a labor sponsorship program that limits their rights. Many face low wages, poor living conditions, and mistreatment. African students at universities like the American University of Beirut also report discrimination. Despite efforts to raise awareness, attitudes toward Black people, especially migrant workers, remain negative. 4. Russia. Russia has a history of racial discrimination against Black people. In 2023, over 60 incidents of racism were reported, affecting Black expatriates. Though many Russians are friendly, systemic issues make it hard for Black people to feel safe or accepted. The tragic 2006 death of a Black student raised concerns about safety. While violent racism has decreased, extremist groups still target non-Slavic individuals. Black Russians, a small community, often feel isolated. 5. Algeria. Algeria is not very welcoming to sub-Saharan African migrants. Many face detention or expulsion during their journey through the country. Black Algerians, especially from southern regions, experience discrimination and marginalization in society. The lack of laws protecting against racial discrimination makes it harder to address these issues. The government and society show little concern for racial problems. 6. Czech Republic. In the Czech Republic, Black expatriates often face discrimination, both subtle and overt. Black students in schools may experience uncomfortable comments and behaviors. Many Czech people report feeling uneasy around minorities, which can make it difficult for Black people to feel fully accepted. 7. Israel. Israel has a complicated history with African immigrants, especially those from Sudan and Eritrea. Immigrants often face challenges in integrating into Israeli society. A 2023 report highlighted rising ethnic tensions and protests calling for better treatment of African asylum seekers. The Israeli government has strict residency policies, making life harder for these immigrants. Many live under difficult conditions. 8. Greece. Greece has beautiful landscapes and a rich history, but Black expatriates still face discrimination, especially outside tourist areas. Despite some progress in addressing racism, many Black people report feeling unwelcome or uncomfortable. This makes it difficult to enjoy the country's appeal when the society doesn't fully accept you. 9. Italy. Italy has a mixed history with race and immigration. In cities that are multicultural, Black expatriates may face racism, ranging from verbal abuse to difficulties with housing or employment. The rise of far-right political movements has increased racial tensions. Despite some support networks, many Black Italians still deal with negative stereotypes. 10. Hungary. In Hungary, racial discrimination is a problem, particularly against Black people. Instances of racism and anti-immigrant sentiment are common, especially with growing nationalism. Many people of African descent face racial slurs and barriers to housing or jobs. While Budapest is more cosmopolitan, discrimination can vary based on where you are in the country. 11. South Korea. South Korea's focus on uniformity and homogeneity creates barriers for Black expatriates. With limited representation of Black people in media, many Black residents face stereotypes and misunderstandings. While cities like Seoul are diverse, Black expatriates may still experience discrimination in public places. However, growing awareness and advocacy efforts are starting to improve conditions. 12. Japan. Japan is famous for its rich culture and hospitality, but Black expatriates sometimes face racial bias. Many report being treated as outsiders in social and professional settings. The lack of Black representation in the media contributes to feelings of isolation for some. Despite this, increasing visibility of Black culture is helping change perceptions. 13. Spain. Spain has a complex history with Africa, but Black expatriates still face challenges, particularly in some regions. Cities like Barcelona and Madrid are known for being multicultural, but racism and xenophobia still exist. Cultural misunderstandings can arise, but community groups work to address these issues and support Black people in Spain. 14. Bulgaria. Bulgaria has a history of discrimination, especially against Black people. Black expatriates often face harassment and difficulties in finding housing or jobs. Although there have been efforts to tackle racism, societal attitudes can still be difficult for Black residents. Advocacy groups are pushing for more awareness and inclusion, but there is still a long way to go. And that's a wrap on our look at the 14 countries that may be challenging for Black expatriates and retirees. If you found this information useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Your support means a lot. Stay tuned for our next video where we continue exploring global living, culture, and more. See you next time.